Going to the moon sounds like the ultimate adventure, a journey just 3 days away from everything you know. But here's what almost nobody tells you about that trip. When you're standing on the lunar surface, looking up at Earth hanging in the black void above you, something breaks inside your mind. It's not homesickness. It's something far more primal and permanent. You see that blue marble? So close you could almost reach out and touch it. Yet every single cell in your body knows the truth. You are more alone than any human being has ever been. And here's the part that haunts every astronaut who's been there. That feeling never really goes away, even after you come back. People imagine the moon is just a short trip away, like flying to another continent. They think it's close enough to feel connected to home. They're wrong. The moon sits 238,000 miles from Earth. That distance isn't just a number. It's a psychological chasm that your brain cannot comprehend or accept. Think about this for a moment. Light takes 1.3 seconds to travel from Earth to the moon. That means when someone speaks to you from mission control, when your family sends you a message, when anything happens on Earth at all, you experience it over 2.5 seconds later because of the round-trip delay. Your brain evolved to process conversation in milliseconds. Now, every exchange with another human being has a pause that screams wrongness into your nervous system. You might think that's manageable, a small delay in communication, but your mind doesn't process it as delay. It processes it as disconnection. Every single conversation becomes a reminder that you are separated from your entire species by a void that swallows sound, warmth, and any possibility of immediate help. When you look at Earth from the moon, you're seeing your planet as it was 1.3 seconds ago. You're literally watching the past. Everyone you love, everything you know, exists in a time frame you can see but never touch. And that delay compounds every problem. Here's where it gets worse. Current data indicates that a rescue mission from Earth to the moon would take a minimum of 3 days under optimal conditions. 3 days. If something goes wrong with your life support, if you're injured, if your habitat is breached, help is 3 days away. But that's only if a rescue vehicle is already prepared, fueled, and waiting on the launch pad. In reality, organizing a rescue mission would take weeks or months. So when something goes wrong on the moon, and things do go wrong, you're on your own, completely. The understanding of that isolation settles into your bones like radiation. But the real psychological break isn't about time or distance. It's about what happens to your perception. On Earth, even in the most remote location, you're surrounded by life. The air you breathe was created by living things. The ground beneath you contains microbes. Birds fly overhead. Insects move through the soil. Your brain evolved for 4 billion years in an environment saturated with biological signals. The moon has none of that. Zero. Not a single microbe. Not one virus. Not even a dormant spore. The lunar surface is sterile in a way that your mind cannot properly process because nothing on Earth is truly lifeless. Standing on the moon means standing in absolute biological death, and your nervous system recognizes this at a level deeper than conscious thought. Astronauts report a creeping sense of wrongness that builds during their time on the lunar surface. Some describe it as feeling watched by nothing. Others say it's like being in a place that was never meant to hold life and rejects their presence. The silence is so complete that you can hear your own heartbeat echoing inside your helmet. That sound becomes a reminder that you are the only living thing for 238,000 miles in any direction. Your mind starts to fracture under that awareness. The numbers make it worse. Earth has a magnetic field that protects you from cosmic radiation. The moon doesn't. Every second you spend on the lunar surface, you're being bombarded by particles that slice through your cells, damaging DNA, increasing your cancer risk with every breath. You can't feel it happening, but you know it's there. The radiation counter on your suit clicks constantly. Each click represents particles tearing through your body. Mission planners estimate that a 2-week stay on the moon exposes you to the same radiation as several months in deep space. Your body is being slowly dismantled by invisible forces while you're surrounded by absolute emptiness. And then there's what happens to your sense of scale. On Earth, your brain uses atmospheric haze, familiar objects, and the curvature of the horizon to judge distance. The moon has no atmosphere. Objects appear with razor-sharp clarity at any distance. A rock formation that looks like it's a 10-minute walk away might actually be 3 hours distant, or it might be 30 minutes. You literally cannot tell. Your depth perception, honed over millions of years of human evolution, becomes worthless. Walking on the moon means moving through a landscape where your basic survival instincts lie to you constantly. Every step is an act of faith against your own senses. But here's the twist nobody prepared you for. The real problem isn't any single factor. The real problem is that going to the moon breaks your connection to the only reference frame your species has ever known. Earth isn't just your home, it's your biological context. Every rhythm in your body evolved to match Earth's gravity, Earth's day length, Earth's magnetic field, Earth's atmospheric pressure. The moon has 1/6 of Earth's gravity. Your inner ear, which controls your balance and gives you a sense of up and down, stops working correctly. You feel dizzy for days. Your muscles don't know how much force to use. Simple actions like walking or picking up objects become exercises in relearning how your own body works. Your circadian rhythm completely falls apart. The moon has no atmosphere to scatter sunlight into a gentle sunrise and sunset. Daylight appears and disappears with brutal suddenness as the sun crosses the lunar horizon. For 14 Earth days, you have continuous harsh sunlight. Then for 14 days, absolute darkness. Your body tries to maintain a 24-hour cycle in an environment with a 28-day cycle. Sleep becomes impossible to predict. You drift through periods of exhaustion and forced wakefulness, never quite synchronized with anything. Some astronauts report that after a week on the moon, they lose track of whether they've slept at all or been awake the entire time. Time itself becomes unreliable, and you can't look away from Earth. That's the cruelest part. The Earth hangs in the lunar sky, always in the same position, never rising or setting, always visible during the lunar night. It's 4 times larger than the moon appears from Earth, brighter than anything else in the black sky. You find yourself staring at it, watching the weather patterns shift, seeing the continents rotate past. You can point to where your house is, where your family lives, where you grew up. You can see it all from 238,000 miles away, but you can't reach it. You can't smell it. You can't feel its warmth. You're close enough to watch, but too far to touch. That contradiction breaks people in ways that years of training never prepared them for. Current data indicates that every single astronaut who has been to the moon reports lasting psychological changes. They describe a permanent shift in how they perceive Earth and their place in the universe. Some call it the overview effect. Others describe it as a kind of cosmic loneliness that never fully leaves. Even decades after returning, they wake up at night feeling that separation, that awareness of how fragile and isolated humanity really is. Going to the moon doesn't make you feel like an explorer. It makes you feel like a species that wandered too far from the only place where it can truly survive. The moon shows you the truth about space exploration that nobody wants to acknowledge. We talk about colonizing Mars, building bases on distant worlds, becoming a spacefaring civilization. But the moon is right there, 3 days away, and we can barely stand to stay for a few weeks. The isolation is too complete. The separation from Earth's biological and physical context is too severe. If we can't handle the moon, how do we imagine surviving on Mars, which is thousands of times more distant? How do we cope with Jupiter's moons, or the asteroid belt, or anything beyond? Thank you for watching. If you want to go deeper into what actually happens to the human body during extended space missions, you might enjoy the next video. I'd be very grateful for your support, and I'll see you next time.